Hello everybody, hope everybody is doing well. So yeah, I thought I would do basically an update video, but solely about what my new project is going to be now that I'm nearing the end of my English Civil War project. Now I will be doing some videos on the English Civil War project and basically what I've completed and an overview of what I've done, but like all of us, I started researching what I wanted to do next, ended up buying a load of figures for it, and I've already started working on those while I finish off the other one. So I thought I'd dedicate a video to that, show you what I'm going to do, what my plan is, and show you what I've painted up already. It's something that I've wanted to do for a while, wargaming wise, not necessarily this specific period, but after sort of looking at the models available and reading more on the history, I've slowly sort of narrowed down what I actually want to do. So basically I'm going to be wargaming and collecting armies for the first Crusade, and I'm going to be collecting armies for both the Western armies, the Crusaders, and also for the Eastern, the Seljuk Turks as well, and the Fatimids. So I plan on doing two armies like I do for a lot of my projects, and I'm going to build them up at the same time, and I thought that this would be just the best way to show you what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip the camera around and I'll show you what's going on. Okay, so why the First Crusade? Well, it's for a few reasons. One is I think there's a really varied history. There's a lot of very interesting characters. Again, I work on the idea that everyone in history is pretty much horrible. So if you follow the Wars of the Roses, you know I really like diving into sort of character histories, and I found that the First Crusade has so many characters on both sides. Although that's actually the thing, it's not even really just two sides. There's so many competing factions and things to consider that I really like that. So I like the possibility of chaos basically, and creating armies to reflect that. Now, one of the big clinchers for doing this is basically this. Now this is the Norman infantry set from Victrix, and basically after having a look at everything that was available on the market, I thought I'd start with these. Now there are some wicked miniatures out there made by Footsore, Gripping Beast, Emperor's First Corps, there's loads. And while I was trying to decide on a period to actually cover within the Crusades, because you know you could do the First Crusade, Second, Third, Fourth, you could do the Kingdom of Jerusalem and all of that, it was really these that helped me decide that yes, it was the First Crusade I wanted to do, because you have the Normans from Italy, the ones from northern France coming over, so this kit can double up. You get 60 miniatures in this kit. I'm not going to do a review of it, there's plenty out on YouTube already, so just search for Victrix Normans if you want to see that. But you do get sprues loaded with stuff. You get 8 models on each, and you can, there's hundreds of different combinations that you can do. One bag does 60. I'm doing about 15 men a unit, which you'll see in a minute. So that's 4 units right there, which is the best part of a brigade, or whatever you want to call it. They come with the, well, they don't come with the little big men transfers, but the little big men transfers are designed to go with this, and those are like these ones here, and also the flag. So I've taken a mix of the Crusader options that are available. You can't see this one because I've turned it over, but these are basically variations of the red and white cross, and then just normal Norman shields. So you can double up on a lot of things as well, which is why another reason I've chosen this. So yeah, really nice set. But what I'll do, I'm going to move this out of the way and actually show you what they look like painted, because they're plastic. Okay, and here we have them. So those of you who watch my channel regularly will probably notice that I've kind of gone for 3 bases for a unit, the same as for my Wars of the Roses project, and that is simply because I found that to be basically a really good size for units. Not too big, not too small, easy to expand. Rules wise, I probably will be looking at using Hail Caesar and using the rules that are in the main rulebook. There's a small section on the Crusades in there, but as you guys all know, I'm not afraid of, you know, coming up with some house rules, or, you know, making new unit rules, or coming up with individual character rules. So it's something that I've really enjoyed doing for the Wars of Roses, and I'll probably continue doing it for the Crusades. Other rules I've been looking at, obviously Lion Rampant, but also there's a game called Deus Vault. Now, I haven't got the rulebook, it's something I've been looking at, but I'm having trouble finding the other army lists, and I think the rulebook only comes with 2. But it's still a system which I'm interested in, and it's written primarily with the Crusades in mind. I've heard good things about it, and I'm going to try and get hold of that. So here are the Victrix models themselves, and they have been great fun to paint. Fantastic sculpts, and the detail on the faces is absolutely fantastic. Now you compare this to some of the older Victrix kits, mainly some of the Napoleonic ones. I mean, these are just in a whole different class, and these are probably some of the best Norman miniatures that I've seen. What I've tried to do is just give them a variety of armors and armor tones, and then just give them basically, again, a little bit similar to the Wars of Roses, uniformity through not having loads of uniformity, which is why I wanted to vary the shield designs. I didn't want them all to have black shields or red crosses. I wanted just to bring some of that normal Norman design in there as well. The bases are from Big Red Bat. Yes, I have stuck these ones back to front, so I had to do the whole unit back to front, so these guys will only fit together. But these bases are from Big Red Bat, which is what I did my Wars of Roses, my English Civil War on, and I love these. I think these are brilliant. I'll drop a link below to those. I just really like the sort of wavy edges and the way they kind of fit together like jigsaw pieces. That is effectively my command stand. So you get 2 command frames in the pack, and you can create like this guy here running forward to smash someone's head in with the axe. I really like this one here, who's sort of standing back, a bit more composed than this fella. Of course, the standard bearer. Great deal of fun. And then you get some spares as well, so you can drop some equipment on the bases as well. The bases themselves I've created using AK Interactive basing pastes, and then also obviously tufts and a lot of dry brushing and dropping various bits of leaf litter and things on there. I didn't want it to be really arid. I wanted some greens on there. If people are interested in how I do the bases, I could do a basing video on that. Let me know below. The basing was something I actually kind of struggled with for quite a while, because I didn't just want to put sand on the bases. I wanted something that looked a specific way, and I actually ended up going on Google Earth and looking at images of the terrain sort of around Jerusalem and in the area of Antioch, and or where Antioch was rather, and what that would be like, and then settled on this. So this is my third base, and I love this one. And you've got the guy in the scale armor rushing forward. Now, when I was building this, I accidentally blobbed some super glue onto his face when I was putting the helmet on him, and when I took it off, I damaged it slightly. So I decided to basically look like he'd taken a wound to the eye. So I added a cut into the helmet, and then used my blood mixture and blood recipe to drop that down, and then try and make it look like it's soaked into his hauberk, and then just added some blood onto the scales. So what we've got here, he's thrown his shield down over here, he's taken some wounds, and now he's rushing forward, breaking formation. His men are following him, and he's out for some revenge. And I just thought it was really cool just to add a little bit of character in. But as I say, you get plenty of spares. So that's the first unit done, and I'm really pleased with them. I can't wait to get some more done. They paint up fairly quickly, and there's a lot of texture on there, so you can use the contrast paints quite nicely, and then plenty of room for highlighting for those people that want to do that. The basing pastes I mentioned are like this one here, which is the Sandy Desert. base. Now this stuff, I mean, you can make these. Vallejo makes similar basing pastes, but basically I got them because I wanted to go for consistency. Now I could mix my own, but again, I just wanted to have pre-made stuff that I can just get out as I need it. I've got my recipe for doing it, and I can be sure that it's going to look the same each time, rather than relying on my memory to add just the right amount of parts. My idea for the Crusader army, which is what I've started working on, is to break it down into divisions, and those will each be commanded by some of the princes that came over. Obviously, another name for the First Crusade is the Prince's Crusade. You've got these characters like Raymond of Toulouse, Godfrey of Bouillon, Baldwin, Tancred, Bohemond, and but these first units I think I'm going to do as being under the control of Robert Curthose, who is the eldest son of William the Conqueror, and who's come over, make a bit of a name for himself. And from everything I've read so far, he's an able battle commander, but not a great strategist. So I'm gonna have a little bit of fun there. Other characters that I'm going to include in here, Peter the Hermit led the People's Crusade. That didn't go great, but you're going to have some pilgrims in here somewhere. And then, of course, there's also the Seljuk Turks, and you can have like Kilij Arslan, Koba Kha, and I plan on using the Gripping Beast plastics quite a lot for those. I've got a whole set down here, but I'll show those in a different video. I really want to put some objectives for myself, and some objectives in this are going to be to do sieges, because you've got things like the Siege of Antioch, Nicaea, and of course the Siege of Jerusalem. So those are going to be some gaming objectives, which I'm going to look at doing. Now, whether or not I'm going to scratch build those city walls, or whether I'm just going to buy some pre-made ones and just paint them up like they're from the Holy Land, I haven't decided yet. Another thing which is going to be quite interesting and quite fun to do is, of course, there was some support from the Byzantines in this period. Now, auspiciously, everything kind of kicked off because it was all to support Alexios, the Byzantine emperor, trying to regain some of his lands, and he did have a contingent with the Crusaders acting as guides. They left the Crusade, but again, it's a bit of fun. So lots of different allied units, and the great thing is that these Normans half the time fought each other as much as they fought the enemy. So I'm going to be able to do some infighting there. And that's exactly the same on the Seljuks. The Seljuks and the Fatimids are always fighting each other, and then you can have some Moorish units in there as well. Lots of light cavalry. Don't quite know how I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully it'll be better than painting Napoleonic cavalry, but we shall see. I hope to put out history videos and some painting videos as well, and we'll just see where things go. I'll just show you a couple of books that I've bought from good old Osprey, and then that will probably be enough. So I've picked up this one, which is one of their campaign books, which is the First Crusade, Conquest of the Holy Land, which is a decent sized one, about 100 pages. Basically what you come to expect from Osprey. It covers both the armies and the battles. It looks in detail at sort of the route that the Crusaders took and some of the actions that were taken on the way, which, questionable, but still really interesting. And to be honest, in any war that you cover, you're going to find people who have done questionable things. I'm not doing it for anything else. I'm doing it because I want to do some wargaming. But this is a good book. I've been interested in getting it for a while, but it's certainly given me some ideas for some inspiration. And I've also picked up the Men at Arms Armies of Islam book, just so I can get some ideas for painting and for composition. There's some fantastic artwork in here, as you come to expect, and I'm really looking forward to trying to replicate some of these patterns on the models when they get here. I really like this one here, which is some Saharan tribal cavalry. Now, I don't know if they would have gone as far as, say, Antioch, but again, in my wargaming, I sort of go with Is it cool? Will I put it in? Probably. So a couple of books there. I'm also listening to the is it Crusaders by Dan Jones, which is a bit more of a sort of a general history, and I'm enjoying that as well. So yeah, that's kind of where I am at the minute. Really looking forward to cracking on with it. Got to decide what I'm going to do next for the Normans after these. Potentially some archers, and hopefully the Norman cavalry set won't be too long from Victrix, but we shall see. What I'll do is, as I normally do, I'll leave some photos up at the end of the video, but I'll basically stop that here. We'll sum up, and yeah, we'll see where we are. So there we are. That's what's going to be coming up in the months ahead. I'm going to be working on this project at the same time as I work on other things, such as the Wars of the Roses and a few other bits and bobs, and there'll still be some Napoleonics getting painted, but this is something I'm really excited about, and I'm kind of really looking forward to getting some games in, so I'm going to try and be painting these up at the same time as working over everything else. So I'll try and keep everybody updated with what's going on. If you've got any questions or suggestions about the project, then drop them down below. Down below you can also find a link to my email address, and so if you've got any questions, if it's about this or anything else, then please feel free to send me an email. Oh yes, also you'll find a link to the Seventh Son T-Mill shop. I've had quite a lot of people ask if I was going to do things like Patreon or some of the other things a bit like that, and I basically decided it wasn't really for me at this point anyway. But I thought something that I could do was actually do a t-shirt, but rather than just do a t-shirt with the channel logo on it, I thought I'd actually go and do something a bit different, and I basically spent some time and talked to an artist, and we designed a t-shirt, which is actually the one I'm wearing now, so you can see it here. So a t-shirt named after the set of rules that we're working on, Bloody Will Be Thy End, with this rather sort of angry looking knight on it, and those are available in the link below. It's just a little way if you want to get one. It looks cool. A little bit of that goes towards supporting the channel, the rest of it goes to T-Mill, but the links below, and yeah, if anyone wants to get one, then feel free. And what I'll do, I'll keep everything updated, and I will catch you guys again in the next one. So take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye bye.
Te